Hello, great students. Let's solve this initial problem. The question says solve 2 raised to the power of x minus 4 over x equals to 8. So how do you solve this? Now the first thing I'm going to do is to express it in index form. All right, so this is 2 raised to the power of x minus 4 over x equals to 2 raised to the power of 3. Okay, so the base is the same thing, so you can equate the powers. So we have x minus 4 over x equals to 3. Now the next thing to do is to multiply through by x. So I multiply this by x, this by x, this by x. So when you multiply this by x, you have x squared. Now when you multiply this by x, so x will cancel x, so you have negative 4 equals to multiply this by x, you have 3x. Okay, now let's rearrange this. This x raised to the power of 2 minus 3x negative 4 equals to 0. Now let's solve this quadratic equation. Now the sum is negative 3 and the product is 4. Okay, so we need two numbers such that when you multiply together, you have negative 4. Sorry, you have negative 4. And then when added together, you have negative 3. What are the two numbers? So we have negative 4 and plus 1. So now this turns to x squared negative 4x plus x negative 4 equals to 0. Now you can see when you add this together, you have negative 3x. Okay, so now let's look at the first pair here. What is the GCD of these two numbers? So we have x. X is the greatest common divisor. So when you divide this by x, you have x. Divide this by x, negative 4x, we have 4. Here, the GCD here is 1. So we have x minus 4 equals to 0. So you factor out x minus 4. So, and then you are left with this. So we have x plus 1 equals to 0. Now two entities multiplying each other to have 0. So it's either x minus 4 is 0 or x plus 1 is 0. So let's transpose negative 4. So we have x equals to 4, or x, you transpose 1, negative 1. So these are the two values of x. All right. So that is what the question wants us to do. But now let's check to be sure that the answers are correct. Now let's see if we input this into this equation. Let's see if we're going to have 8. So we have 2 raised to the power of 4 minus 4 over 4. And that gives us what? 2 raised to the power of 4 minus 1. And that's 2 raised to the power of 3, which is the same thing as 8. That makes this to be correct. Now let's look at the second one. Okay, negative 1. Negative 1 minus 4 over negative 1. Okay, so this one multiplies this, so you have simply have 4. Okay, and that gives you 2 raised to the power of 3, because negative 1 plus 4, that gives you 3. So that is what? That is 8, which is correct. So that means x is negative 1. So I hope we've learned one or two things. If you love to join our online classes, okay, so you can connect with this number plus 23480 3917 9465. All right, thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.